everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Meg, and today I'm showing you how to get this date night soft glam Valentine's Day makeup look. I love the look of this. I'm obsessed with it. It's been kind of my go-to like extra makeup if I wanted something a little bit more than just your regular smoky eye. We are going to be doing a very soft cut crease today, but it's super easy. I'm going to walk you through it, so don't panic with that. And just a little bit of glitter just adds that much more glitz and glam. Of course, this look looks amazing without the glitter if you don't have it or you want to skip it. And I think it's just a perfect date night romantic type makeup. So before we get into the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on my future content. If you really want to be a part of the fam, be sure to hit the bell button so you're notified when my videos go live. I'm trying to do a power hour. So the first hour that my video is live, I will be down here in the comments talking with you guys. So if you'd like to be a part of that, be sure to have that bell on. If you're interested in following me on my other social media, it's MakeupByMegB across the board. If you're interested in following that dog back there, her name is Luna the Great Siberian on Instagram. I'll have her link down below. She's always hanging out with me. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll into the tutorial. On my Real Techniques 203 brush, I am getting started with my Silk Cream and MFEO colors, and I'm just holding this almost parallel, and I'm just really focusing on creating that top edge. And what I'm going to do is use this to complete a wing. I've really been liking doing this technique with my shadow. So I'll kind of go in with circular motions on the inner corner, but on the outer edge, I want to keep it pretty straight and keep my brush pretty flat up against my skin. And then what I can do, in this case, I'm picking up some more shadow, but if it was a pigmented shadow, I wouldn't. I would just take whatever is left and just do a flicking motion up and out. So most of the product's being distributed on the outer corner of my eye, and then whatever I'm flicking up and out just kind of fades up into a nice wing. Same brush, new color. I'm picking up Pooter, which is a little bit darker, and then I'm also doing the same technique, but I'm not bringing it up quite as high. And here I'm really bringing this color almost to the halfway point on my mobile lid just to start building up the outer crease, but it's the same outward flicking motion and just working on building the crease up. And I am going to take this corner or this color all the way to my inner corner. So back and forth windshield wiper motions and circular motions for the inner corner, and then also across the edge to make sure everything is blended. Now I'm going in with Buns, which is that top color, and Mocha, which is that bottom color, and I'm taking a slightly smaller brush. This is a Morphe M433. This is like my favorite blending brush. And again, it's the same style, same technique. I'm just really focusing on building up the crease at this point. So every time you go in with a darker color, you just don't want to put it as high up in your crease. And here you can just really see how we're getting that nice flicked out wing. Very, very easy and very effortlessly. And it's up to you how much you want to build these colors up. Last but not least, I'm taking Central Perk, and this is a no-name brush, but you can see it's like a very pointed, almost pencil brush. And here I am just really focusing this on the outer edge. I am just going to focus on packing the color out. And then whatever is left, I'm going to lightly work on bringing that to the inner corner because I don't want the inner corner to be too dark. But by piling this on, I have the color right where I want it. So now I can go back in with that Morphe M433 and just fluff and blend out the edges so it's dark without having to go in over and over and over. With any eyeshadow look, I always take this huge, big, fluffy brush. Again, it's not named or marked, so I wish I could tell you the name of it. I just like giving myself a once-over just to do any last final blends. And now we can move on to the very soft and easy cut crease. I am just taking a Sephora concealer brush just because the shape works pretty well for cut creases for me, and I'm picking up my Tarte Shape Tape because it's tacky, it's not too wet, and it's really opaque. So I just get it down close to my lash line, and then I just look up as you just saw me, and that can kind of give you a guide if you're new to cut creases. You could definitely try this technique out and see if it works for you, and then the rest of this is just lightly building that up. If you want to exaggerate the edge, you could make this bigger bigger and bolder, but as you can see, it kind of works perfectly with the shadow that we laid down because we're still getting that hint of the central perk color. The darkest color that we use is still peeking out through the cut crease. So I'm just bringing this about halfway in, and then once I have the concealer laid down and I feel like my edge is pretty solid and straight, I am just going to pat out the edge with my finger. I like doing this because it warms the concealer up and it just helps it to melt and blend into your eyelid and into the shadow, so you don't really get a fine like defecation mark. Everything is just going to look even more nice and seamless. I also like to touch up before I go in and set my concealer. So I'm just going back with that Morphe M433. I have no new product on here. I'm just going to use this to help blend the edge of the concealer. See, not as bad as you may think. Also, a side note, if you don't want to do a cut crease, you can easily just, take a makeup wipe and clean up the inner corner of your lid and lay the shimmer down. This is just going to help it stand out a little bit more, so that is why I personally prefer to do this. For the shimmer, I'm taking SPN and Faint. These are both pink toned shimmers. After all, this is a Valentine's Day look, so I had to throw pink in here somewhere. I always say shimmer applies best with your finger, so I'm just taking Smoky But Natural, the SPN color, because it's the darkest, on the outer part, and then I'm going to probably bring it to the inner fourth of my eye, and then the very inner fourth of my lid, I'm going to use that Faint color and just pack it on top of the Smoky But Natural right here, so you can see we get a nice little gradient of subtle pink. It's not too much in your face pink, unlike my last tutorial, and if you missed that, I will have a link up above. And lastly, for the shadow on our upper lid, I am again taking that same blending brush, no new product, and just getting that outer edge so the shimmer just fades nicely into the crease and into the smokiness. And now we can go ahead and move on to glitter, or if you want to leave it as is, it looks pretty good this way too. For glitter, I wanted to use my Stila Magnificent Metal in the shade Perlina, but the applicator on that is pretty big and I wanted a really fine line, so I took my Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner brush to apply the Stila glitter, and I like how this turned out, although I will say it was a little bit intense. Just using the regular Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner would give you something a little bit more subtle, but I still like how this turned out. It just added a nice little fun pizzazz to the look, and I just stopped this right above where we cut our crease. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm taking Central Perk and Abyss, a mixture of that, and then I'm also going to take a combination of Buns and Mocha, kind of like a repeat of what we were doing up above. I don't know why I'm struggling so hard to show you this shadow. And then I'm also going to use Pooter. So it's going to be kind of the reverse, because when we start with our crease, we go lightest to darkest. But for the lower lash line, I go darkest to lightest. So I'm taking the dark brown and black first on this Morphe M432 brush. And I'm just stamping this along my lower lash line. And to help blend that line out, I'm taking a Morphe E36. This has like those medium dark colors, so Mocha and Buns. And I do pick up quite a bit of shadow and kind of pack it on, and then I work on blending out my edges. So I just kind of get it placed on, and I do a rather heavy smoky lower line. I really do like to connect it up to that wing that we have in the crease. So I tend to pack it on pretty heavy, but if you don't like quite the smoky under eye, don't go out as much as I do. And on this Urban Decay fluffy brush, I took the lightest bit of Pooter just to really get those edges to make sure everything is nice and blended. And here you could just see how far down I bring my lower lash, kind of where my eye bag is. And I really like the way it looks. I think that it adds a nice balance and just makes the look sexy and sultry. And voila, we are all done. That is going to wrap it up for today's soft glam makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite type of eyeshadow look to wear out for date night? I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe before you head out today. If you are not caught up on my other videos, check them out right here, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.